You see it a lot in the hip-hop rap area. I mean, that's the primary area where you're seeing entrepreneurship, being taken to its limit. In the other areas, it's starting to happen also because you can't, the way this world's changing, you've got to diversify. You've got to understand all the different areas where music is being performed. And you really, I'm going to use this word in the best sense of the word, you've got to exploit yourself and what you have. And so if a lot of times you'll have to sell your own records because record companies aren't signing a lot of people these days. So you've got to figure out ways around that syndrome. The traditional record company contract even the record company contract is changing as far as some of its definitions as to downloads and normal retail channels and those type of things, and splits are becoming different. But you've got to know the areas where you can make money, and you've got to look at non-traditional ways of doing it these days. I mean, film and TV is still a traditional way, but even in those areas, I tell people, you've got to connect. If you're a young writer in this area, you just don't walk and get a song into a major motion picture. You've got to look for the independents. You've got to know how to find where the independent features were being made. You've got to go to conferences that have the independents in there, or you've got to know the film schools, because there are a lot of very good film schools out there where the new producers, directors, and other people are coming from. So you just got to really, you've got to be more aggressive. You can't sit back and just wait for things to happen. You can't use the traditional ways of doing things anymore. It'll work for some people, but in the main, you've got to be, you can't be adverse to having a clothing line. If that works out. I'm using an extreme example because I would never have a clothing line for obvious reasons. But you've got to think outside the box these days if you're really going to be successful. And you've got to have good management and representatives. They don't have to be that experienced, because younger people and newer people start out in this business. As long as they have good ideas, they've got to know how to handle you. They've got to know the different areas that they can that you might do well in. So your representation is very important these days.